My name's Leo Doobie. First, let me say thanks for your interest in our travel protection plan. This is by far the simplest and smartest way to protect your family when you travel more than 100 miles away from home. As a funeral director for the past 30 years, I've been astounded at the escalating costs of sending a body home when someone dies while working, traveling, or even vacationing. Just think, the cost when someone dies in Florida currently average $2,400 to send them back home. That's $2,400 over and above the cost of any funeral arrangements. And when someone dies outside of the United States, particularly in Europe, those costs can skyrocket to $6,000 or even $7,000. Now I have some interesting statistics. Let's take a look at the first one. Over 80% of Americans take an overnight trip each year that's more than 100 miles away from home. Over 50% of international travel is done by those over the age of 55. The treatment of certain diseases requiring distant medical centers has risen. Business travel, particularly for companies overseas, is very, very common. And lastly, did you know that 1 out of every 5 deaths in Florida results in the deceased having to be returned to another funeral home in a different state? Bringing a loved one back home creates a huge and unnecessary burden on the surviving family. Finding a funeral home or a crematory out of town, paying all of those upfront costs out of pocket for service fees, certified documentation, and airlines when a family is in shock does not have to happen. For a one-time fee of only $400, you too can have the protection that lasts a lifetime. Again, only once, a one-time fee. You have the peace of mind knowing that your family will never have to face these costs or burden responsibilities ever again. Isn't it better to leave behind solutions rather than problems? I feel so strongly about this plan that my parents, who live in Florida for 6 months out of the year and back home in Massachusetts for the remaining 6 months, have that very same plan that you're going to take here shortly. Thank you for listening today. I know your family will be thankful too. And hey, do me a favor. Don't forget to tell your friends as well. This is Leo Doobie. Thanks for listening.